All right, so we'll pick up where we left off yesterday. Yesterday, Alexis, you read the instruction on how to drag months of a year across horizontally. That was number 29. And Analia, would you read number 30 for us? All right, let's do that. So that would require you to scroll over, and N3 right now is nothing. So it's outside of what we've already done. In fact, for me, it looks like it is on the next page. We can change that in a moment. But for right now, in N3, I'm just going to write total. Instruction number 30. We're on page 132.
If you press enter, it'll roll.
Let's move on to number 31. And Nick Sikowski, would you read number 31? Number 31. Page 132.
Format, row border, present.
Yeah, so remember, if you click up here, you get the whole column. Well, something similar applies for over here. If you click this, you get the entire row. And we would format that to %. Many of you probably already guessed it by clicking right there. So we have now formatted row 4 to %. Good. All right, then the rest of the cells should be $signs. So do that. I'm not really sure if these are already formatted because it says if necessary, but just do that. So for the rest of what's here, for sure starting in row 7, all these should get formatted as $signs. If you go down too far, that's okay. You can always take that away, but format that to $signs, and it looked like it was not done before. In for it. We're going to move on to number 33. So number 33, Peyton, would you be willing to read that for us? Good. So here's the question: if we made equal percentage in each month of the year, what would our percentage be per month? So the months have to add up to what percent? They have to add up to 100. How many months are there in a year? So what's 100 divided by, let's make it easy, what's 100 divided by 10? So take a guess, what's 100 divided by 12? It'd be a little less, right? So let's say 8%. So start with 8% for each month. Kind of awkward. So if I want to auto sum my months to see if I get 100%, I can do that very easily. So I put 8% in here for each month, and I click on auto sum, and it already knows what I want to add up. It's pretty easy because it's the only thing I've put in my on this particular sheet so far, and I press enter, and I'm left with 4% to spread anywhere I want throughout the year. So if you are a typical business, what is your busiest month? December, right? And let's just assume that that's true for you, even if it's not. Let's just make this easy. This might not be the case for everybody, but what do I need to do to get my percentages to add up to 100? How many do I need to add now to December? 4%. Good. So I'm going to switch 8 to 12, and I've now completed step 33. So we've just now completed steps 33 by adding in all of our percentages, and step 34, making sure we did a sum of those cells. So let's go on to number 35. And Lauren, are you still catching up from past days?
Yeah, I'm catching up.
Okay. Nick, are you still catching up from yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. That's why they're there. Caitlin, go ahead. Would you read number 35 for us? Good. So starting in A7. So right here, we are going to start, we're going to type in our categories from the previous page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 5 and I'm going to type them over here. So I think I can just see Control C, and let's see how nicely this pastes. I'm going to add, because I only have 4 right here, I'm going to insert, I think, I'd like to insert a cell right there. I can do that. No, not like that. A row. Where's my row? Insert a row here. Doesn't want to do that, huh? So I just added a row. If you didn't see that, I added a row by right-clicking, going to Insert, clicking on Insert, and then I selected Entire Row. And I clicked OK, and it will add a row for me. And I'm just going to leave it there for now. And let's see, can I now paste? No, it doesn't want to let me. So I'm going to copy this again. And I'm going to, hopefully, paste. Got it. And I can change that shape fill if I want to, cell fill. But now I have mine all copied over. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do number 36, although if you've been paying attention, that we're going to do that the same way we just added a row here. But let's read number 36. So number 36 says, Jelani, would you read that one? So all that means is if I click right here, let's make sure I do this right. I'm going to go to Insert, and to be honest with you, I'm not exactly sure if it adds it above or below this, but let's try it. Okay, it's above, so I'm going to want to undo that. But I can't because my undo is covered up. Wait, can I go to Edit to undo here? Oh, there's no edit here. Look at that. So I'm going to undo that in a minute. So you're going to want to make sure, oops. You're going to want to make sure you go here, and you're going to right click, and you're going to insert 2 rows between each category. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm also going to get rid of this row up here. So once you've added 2 rows between each category item, this is roughly what your spreadsheet would look like. Kat, you got your hand up, yes?
When I adjusted the lines to the last one, just use the column lines.
I'll be able to come and take a look at yours in just a minute. But for now, would you be willing to read number 37?
Type cost of sales under each category and column.
Got it. So, under hitting lessons, you would type cost of sales. Under pitching lesson, you would type that again, or rather than typing it, you could just copy and paste each of those. So then you've got cost of sales under each of your category items. Then moving on to number 38. And Maddie Page, would you read number 38?
Cell B7 insert formula equals sales worksheet $4 times budget exclamation point before. Calculate total sales for that
So people right now, make sure sales worksheet is spelled just like it is here, where it is, because if you don't type it the same way into this formula, it'll get mad. So make sure sales worksheet is spelled that way. And if we go back to B7, I'll explain this formula in a minute, but make sure this formula is also typed exactly like this. Equals. Single quote. That's telling it to pull from a different sheet. Sales space capital W worksheet. End single quote. Good. Then 2 Excel symbols that we'll learn a little bit more. Times. So now we're telling it to pull from this sheet, being really specific about where we're pulling from. Budget, exclamation point, and then B4. And if the teacher did it correctly, I will get a round number here. For some reason it did not like that. I don't know why. Let's see. Take a minute to figure that out. All right, I fixed that formula. I added in the E4 here. I must not have typed that in before. And now if I would press enter, I will get the amount of sales I would do in January for hitting lessons. So the revenue coming into my company for the month of January for hitting lessons, because we decided what they would cost and how many we would do, is $3,600, because I will do 8% of my business in January. Now I'm going to show you number 39. Number 39 says to do this, and then I'll come around and help those of you who need it. I'm going to drag that formula, and because of the way that we wrote that in, oops, I can drag it all the way across to total. So through total. And notice, I already told Excel that I would have 1 month that would be different. I would be making more money in what month? December. And notice, it's the same for every month, but then when I get to December right here, it's $5,400 rather than $3,600. And $45,000 is exactly what my sales is for the year on my budget sheet. Sorry, on my sales worksheet. So that is what you do for numbers 38 and 39. So a little bit tricky for this next step, but I think quite doable. We're going to do essentially the same thing for these other categories. So we're going to do step 40 together right now. And were we up to you, Maddie Page? You did. Cynthia, I know you're ahead of us a little bit, but would you still be willing to read number 40? I'm sorry? You may. Yeah, Mary Jane, would you be willing to read number 40 for us? Let's see. Do I have a different number 40 than you do? Do you have a blue book or a... Oh. That's right. So we are going to type in a similar formula. And I am going to pause this screencast because it's almost done. I'll show you the formula in just a minute, but I won't show you it as I type it. So I've already pressed enter here, but you can see my total and my formula right here for my second revenue category item, which is pitching lessons. Next thing I'm going to do, and I won't show you this because I'm running out of time, is drag that over. Well, I'm almost out of time here on the screencast, but this is what your chart should look like as of right now.